In today's episode, Eugenie and I are going to be talking about her journey into art journaling and how she has managed to move from an observer to an explorer. I was so inspired by this conversation and all of the topics that we touched on, from colors to starting out as a beginner, using art as a way to be able to center yourself and to be able to find calm in your life. There's so much goodness in this episode. So I think you need a notebook because you are definitely going to be wanting to write down some of the amazing phrases and ideas that come up in this episode. So let's get into it.
Gotta get messy and show the world you growing as an artist. And you're free to be yourself. You got a dream, you need to start it. Stick together. Get messy says you're formally invited to a community where you can find people that spark the feel of excitement. Too many art supplies, not enough time. No, it's tougher, so you must find a way to feel some connection. We got a lot of people with the same kind, a great mind. We here for you, a platform so we can hear your views. Time's yours, forget yours. I know you bored of them same rules.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Get Messy podcast episode. Today, I have got Eugenie here with me, and I am so excited to be able to chat to her. So thank you so much for saying yes to joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
So for those that are listening, do you maybe want to give an introduction to who you are?
Okay. So I'm Eugenie, aka Super Mama des Vosges. Maybe you know this name, Super Mama des Vosges, on Instagram. I'm a French maker, not fresh, but quite fresh also, French maker. And I live in France in an old farm with my husband and many animals, chickens, fishes, and children. Yes, children. Not quite animals, but sometimes I have four children, and they are old now, quite adults. But my youngest is 16. I'm an artist. Maybe I am. I don't know yet. I'm still looking forward. But I'm a maker, definitely a maker and a storyteller. I will talk about it later, but I really like telling stories in my pages. What can I say else to start? I started art and painting and art journaling a few years ago. But I never touched a brush or a pencil before I was an adult. I was not a born artist or a child artist, not at all.
So what led you to pick up the paintbrush?
For a long time, I thought that creative arts were not for me because I thought that I needed to be gifted or talented or something like that. And then I started a bullet journal because I had a full-time job and 4 children, and I needed to organize myself. So when I started a bullet journal, I started to doodle, to draw, and then I discovered watercolor, and then I discovered classes, lessons, and teachers, and then I learned a lot. So one of my most important advice is to learn, to start, to believe that you don't need to be talented.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I love that message because I think that holds a lot of people back, right? Is that feeling that I'm not an artist, as you say, especially if you weren't sort of seen as an artist in your childhood, to then as an adult think, well, now I'm going to start creating, can be quite daunting. So I love that it was a slow progression into the art world. It's so inspiring.
Actually, I was a storyteller and I was a reader. I was reading all night long under my blanket. I was hiding from my parents, but definitely not a child who draw a lot of paintings or drawings. Definitely not. And I was a mom and an adult when I started. So that nothing is impossible actually when you want to learn and to start something. I really believe that the gift we have is to believe in it and to explore.
Yes, and it's never too late, right? It's never too late to start.
So
If you, if there's a little itch inside you that says, "Oh, I love this. It looks so exciting and I wish I could do it." Go for it. Just do
yes,
it.
when I read this kind of messages, I'd like to do like you. How you are talented, you are gifted. It makes me really crazy because I don't believe in it. Of course, some people are really talented. Mozart, for example, or painters, famous painters. But really, I don't believe that anything is impossible. Everything is possible when you start, when you want to try, when you improve yourself, when you explore. Everything is possible. And we are very, I don't know how to say it in English. We have the opportunity to buy supplies, to have a little of time, to have houses, to have desks or tables, and really don't miss your chance to try.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. It's a fantastic message to be spreading out and to be putting out into the world is just go for it. You've got, as you're saying, everything at your fingertips. To buy a little set of watercolors and a journal and just play on your lap if you need to. If you don't even have a table, create on your lap. It's all available
Absolutely.
to you.
And the joy of buying supplies.
Yeah.
Don't miss it.
That's a whole topic on its own, right? So tell us a bit about, you've mentioned quite a few times your love for words and storytelling. Do you want to share a bit more about that part of your personality and how you like to combine it into your art making?
Okay. Um, it's a really important part in my artwork. If I can talk about artwork, talking about artworks is something very difficult for me when I talk about myself. But well, telling stories is very important because most of the time when I create a page, first I create it in my head. I'm looking for stories and meaning. Sometimes it's just an abstract page with the colors and a few pieces of papers. But most of the time, I pick pictures. I pick pictures of my family, for example, and I choose to tell something or to illustrate a message, a word, a quote. And telling stories is important because I want, when I look at my page, to dive into a new world, a kind of fantastic world where everything is possible. So the meaning something in my pages is a really important part of my process.
Oh, yes, I love that. And definitely for people who are going to go and visit your Instagram after this and have a look at your spreads, this they're alive, right? They're alive with story and layers of meaning, and it's just so interesting to see how your
Thank you.
comes together. So you've definitely woven the storytelling into your creative process.
I try to, and I see that it's part of my personal story to have started with books and reading and stories, and now trying to making something in pages in art journalism. I know that it's part of my stories, and now I embrace it. Now that I have a few years behind me, I know that I can embrace myself, what is important for me. At the beginning, I was following artists, teachers, and trying to replicate, because I really believe that when you learn first, you try to replicate. It's important. It's part of the process, of the learning process. But now that I know myself better, I know that I can do what I want. I can go in the direction that are important for me, that are meaningful. And so I have the liberty, the freedom to do it. And it's a kind of progress for me to be able to accept that in my process.
Yeah, I think it is a journey, right? It's in the beginning, I agree with you. It's very important that you sort of find people that you find inspiring and almost copy and learn from them, take classes, do the lessons, do the step-by-step process, and figure out what it is that you enjoy and maybe what you don't enjoy. I think that's also important, is knowing what didn't work for you. And
Absolutely.
then slowly developing your own creative voice. And I think it's beautiful because now, as you were talking, the phrase that came up for me is, you are now meeting yourself on the page.
Absolutely. At the beginning, we are like sponges, and we are looking at each artist and feeling overwhelmed. And wow, my God, it's beautiful. I will never be able to do that. That's not important. What's important is to try, even if you copy at the beginning, because it's the best way to see if it's okay for you, or if you need to take a step back or forward, or try something else. But if you don't try this color combination, if you don't try these mark makings, if you don't try this kind of composition, you will never know if it suits you, if it pleases you. And so you must try sometime at the beginning. New students or new artists try or are afraid to try, but let's copy at the beginning, or let's try just little things, and then you will know. The more you create, the more you know what you like and what you need in your pages.
Absolutely.
That's what I believe.
100%. It's such good advice for someone that's starting out. I think that it's really important that what you've just outlined is almost like a strategy to finding your own creative style and creative voice in the beginning, those early stages.
I didn't find myself, actually, my own style. It's one of the messages I read sometimes. I love your style. My style? What style? I really don't feel like I have a style, because first, I'm a Libra. So I'm always balancing between styles, color combinations, wishes, and supplies. So having a style is something strange for me. And when we say we have a style, I feel like I'm stuck, and I don't want to close doors of exploration. So this question of style is a big question for me.
It's quite interesting because I've spoken about this before in a different episode with someone, and I think because you're looking at your work with such closeness, you might not be able to see it. But for people on the outside, even just scrolling through Instagram, when you see a page, you know exactly who's created that before you even see the name. And I would definitely say, yes, you've got a style.
It's true for you too. When I scroll and I see a page of you, or each and every artist, now I can immediately say it's Claudette's work, or it's Sasha's work, or it's whatever, Kaylee's work. And when I see mine, I say, well, why not? Sometimes I feel it's my style, but sometimes I look at it and I say, what's this what is this page? It's not mine. It can't be mine.
So maybe then instead of saying you found your style, it's sometimes I feel that saying I can see your hand in that work
Mm.
might feel a bit more acceptable to you, is that you've got a way of creating. And so I totally understand this thing of not wanting to be trapped, right? Because the reason why we are in mixed media is because we want to do all the things. We don't want to just do one thing. We want to do everything. So but there is definitely the way someone uses line, or the way they use color, or how they layer up their supplies. There's definitely a specific way that they create. So
Yes,
it's your
totally
creative
true.
hand.
I can recognize Mona's stripe
Mm,
artwork, for example, because she uses bold colors, neon colors, collages, lines, bold lines, and I'm
mm,
really in love with her artwork.
mm,
So it's really true that we have color combination, fave color combinations, for example, fave marks, fave
mm.
patterns. And when you combine all of it, it's a kind of style after all. It's true.
So it's true. Yeah, it is true. So you are very innovative and always experimenting. I feel if I go to your page, I know I'm going to be seeing something new. And as I was saying earlier, it's alive. You can just see the delight that you're taking in your creativity. So how do you keep this energy going? How do you keep your creative momentum moving forward? Have you got a kind of strategy for it?
I'm exploring a lot, both in artwork and in real life. I feel like I'm aware. I'm always open-eyed, looking at each detail. When I'm walking in the street, I'm always looking at little stones or little details in a tree or a flower, a white flower. So I feel like, since I'm an artist or a maker, whatever, I'm really conscious of the world around me and each and every detail that can nourish my creativity. So I try to be really, really focused and present in the moment, to not miss a beautiful detail, a beautiful color, something that will nourish my page. So that's in the real life. And in the artistic world, I'm stalking each and every account on Instagram, and I spend hours looking at artwork, and not really the whole page, but the little detail. It's the same thing that in the real life. The little mark that seems really meaningful to me. So I feel like the best advice is to open your eyes and look at everything that can nourish your creativity, and pick the right things for you, for your art.
Mm.
But I really don't know. I was astonished when I was listening to to you just before. What, me? I'm always thinking that someone is talking about someone else and not about me. So
Oh, oh no. Well, it looks like we're going to have to help you to accept that you are an artist. You are absolutely 100% an artist.
one day, maybe, when I be older, maybe, I don't know. I really like being a maker. And I feel like I'm a maker because I do stuff with my hands, and my hand and my soul. But artists, I've already talked with French people, and artist is not really the same meaning in French. In France, in French world, when you say artist, it's big artists. And in the States, in the, I don't know how you say, Anglo-Saxon world, you can say this word artist and meaning each and everyone. But in France, it's a kind of elite of people who are in another world, and it's not a world easy to embrace in French. And I feel it's easier in English. It's easier for English people to say they are artists, because in French, artist means something really that I can't reach. So I often use the word maker, because I feel more comfortable with it. But I'd like to be an artist someday, one day.
That makes sense. I understand how you're explaining it. I understand what you're saying. Maybe it's time to crumble that eliteness, break
Yes,
through it.
absolutely. Fuck the elite. I don't have to
Yes.
say that, but something like that.
Exactly. So back to the details. Immediately when you were talking, I was thinking, I love the phrase, the magic is in the details. And that's exactly what kept coming to mind, is that you're looking for those magic, whether it's marks or color combinations, textures. You're keeping your eyes open to finding those details that excite you and that spark that creative energy.
Yes, it really. Sometimes I spend hours on pages just because there is a little something that seems wrong to me. Or in the opposite, sometimes I look at my pages and the only pieces that interest me is this corner with these little marks or blobs of color or paint. So really, I'm attracted by details. I don't know why, but details and what they create in composition is really something that I'm interested in. When I create a page, the most of the time I spend all my energy to reach the good composition, the balance between dark and light, between the focus point, the point that attracts you, and the little space, blank space. I try to leave blank space, for example. Sometimes I don't manage to, to leave blank space because I need to put marks everywhere. But I'm really attracted with these kinds of little details and marks that seems just perfect at the right place. I don't know why, but I'm like that.
I think there is a certain kind of magic, right? There's that moment where you just get this, like a rush almost, when you figure out, it's like a puzzle, and sometimes you have to sort of struggle to figure out exactly what it is that the page needed to make it feel yes, like this is a yes for me. And so I think the challenge of finding that little thing, and it's always something tiny, it's never a big thing, it's always just a small color or a small mark, and then the page almost comes to life in front of you. So maybe it's the rush of finding that little thing that keeps you going.
Maybe. And that's why I really like oil pastels at the end of a page. Most of the time I take one of two oil pastels just to add this kind of little detail of color combination, balance, and just a little mark with an oil pastel at the end of a page can change everything for me. maybe
It
maybe
does.
nobody gets it, nobody gets it, but for me, just a little mark or few splashes of neon pink or black just add something to a page. And sometimes I feel completely crazy with it.
You're not crazy. It's a real thing.
I'm happy that you understand me. Thank you. I'm not mad.
Not at all. It's so funny. There's one of the other artists I know, she always says she's in a rush to finish. And so she says she knows that she's a professional artist one day when she arrives to the point where she remembers to do that last little splash of ink on the page. Then she will classify herself as an artist.
I agree. I totally agree.
So there is just something about those last little details that again, it's your hand, right? It's your hand in that artwork. You know what the last little details are that you need to do on your spreads to make them come alive for you.
Mm.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes I don't believe when I look back at some pages, I really don't believe I managed to do them. I feel still astonished and say, what? It's mine. It's not possible. Someone else has created it, had created it, but whatever. But I love the fact that we are using both hands, head, and soul when creating. And I love the fact that we can combine them. And sometimes it's just my hands, and I'm not thinking about it. And sometimes it's completely my soul, and my hands are free to do what they want. It's a kind of balance between creating with the gesture and what with feelings. And this combination is very interesting, and it's what art journaling allow us to do, because using mixed media, each and every techniques, it's very a fantastic world. I'm really fond of mixed media and art journaling because of that, because of this freedom to explore everything. I carve my stamps. I can put some thread. I can use watercolor on top of acrylic. I can do what I want, and it's my own world. I really like mixed media because of that, the freedom.
Yes, absolutely. There is definitely and I think that's what's drawing a lot of us to being a mixed media artist is that freedom and the space to explore. As you were saying, how you layer things is totally up to you. Nobody can tell you what's right
Yeah,
or wrong. And you have the freedom to just explore and play and make a huge mess if you want to. If that's all you want to
absolutely.
do, nobody can tell you that you're wrong.
And you don't have to show your pages too. I'm a public person now because of my account and because of my own business. I'm starting my company. I will talk about it later. And we are kind of public persons, but when you start journaling and mixed media, you don't need to show your pages. It can be an advice to keep it for you, because the worst judgment is yours. You're always looking at your pages and thinking at what people will say or think about it. But it doesn't matter. Keep it for you. If you are a beginner and you're afraid to start, maybe you're afraid because of the judgment. So keep it away and keep your page for yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people, please. Don't do it. Compare to your own yourself, but you can't compare yourself to other paths and journey. So keep it for you. If you want to show it, it's okay. If you need cheerleaders to help you to go and start and begin and continue whatever, do it. But you don't have the obligation to show it to everyone. You can keep it for yourself. Art journaling is a kind of personal journal, and you put your thoughts and your feelings in it. So it can be a secret space for you. a sacred space, but secret space too.
Absolutely. I agree. It's secret and sacred. Absolutely. Yes. And it is true. I think sometimes we fall into the trap of feeling like we have to share,
Mm,
but if you're not comfortable doing that, then there's no pressure to have to do
mm,
it if you want to keep it for yourself. And I think also it's good to have some work that is just for you that you don't share, because it again allows you to have more freedom in
mm.
how you are expressing yourself, because you don't need to worry about what other people are going to think about it. So I think there's value in keeping some work that's just for your eyes.
Absolutely. And I'd like to be more able to share the pages I don't like. If I'm honest, most of the time, what I share on Instagram is pages that I like some way, that I worked on it until the moment I like them. But I also have some stuff, some works that I don't like. And most of the time, I don't share them. It's like that because I know I'm a kind of perfectionist girl, and it's difficult for me to accept the idea that I can't do something. It's a kind of my personality. But I also feel like when I look at my journals that I don't share, the journals where just I try my new supplies, for example. You know, when you just receive new watercolor or new paint and you try new pencils, for example, it's the kind of pages I really like to see because they feel alive, more alive. That's something that feels like perfect, the perfect artwork. And sometimes I don't feel comfortable with the messages that say to me, it's so beautiful, I will never manage to do something like you, because I feel like I'm sending the wrong message when I show my artwork and I pick the perfect pages. I feel like a kind of liar who will discourage people. So it's something that I'm not quite comfortable with, but I will work on it, on being more true, more honest with my
Mm.
process, for example. But I'm not there yet, but I will work on it.
I think here's an idea. What about if you had, for me, a Sunday is my least favorite day of the week. I really don't like a Sunday. So that's why I'm going to use Sunday as the prompt. If you had, if you gave yourself permission to maybe make it if you sort of captioned your post, uncomfortable Sunday or ugly Sunday. And so on a Sunday, you would post one of the pages that you felt I really didn't like it. And then, so you had a specific day where you were just going to, and you had, it had a theme, right? So it was ugly Sunday. And so I'm going to post that stuff that is not fantastic on a Sunday.
Once a week, it's too difficult for me, but baby, once a month, I can try it. Once a week? Are you crazy? I'm, I'm not ready yet, but maybe I can try it once a month. And I will tag you. It's because of Claudette.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? We can start a movement, because I think a lot of us are saying, I've got stuff that I don't like and I would love to share it, because it's that vulnerability of saying, yes, this is what I do, but this is also what I do, right? And it's that honesty that you were talking about. I think for a lot of people who are starting out and are newbies, they look at where we are right now and they don't realize how much bad art has to be made. I'm saying bad, like it's because no, I don't think there's ever bad art. All art is good art because you learn something even in the bad art. But there's a lot of yucky art being made before you reach the point where you've got the pages that you love. And so we could just start a hashtag. We could start a
I'd
whole
like to.
movement.
I really like to, because I think it would be really interesting for people and for us too to dive into it and accept it and embrace it. I'd like
Yeah.
to. I'll be definitely part of it.
Yay!
Yes,
I love
good idea.
that. Yes.
New idea. Woo!
Yeah, I think there's a lot of power in showing that side of your process. I think it would also give you a lot more confidence because you would feel like I'm being honest now, right? I'm showing the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes, yes. And as you said, ugly or bad art is not the kind of thing we want to say, but we must admit that sometimes we reach the right composition, we reach the right balance between details, and some pages are better than others. But the time of exploration, of failure, is the most important time, because it's the time we improve and we try and we see what we don't like and we see what we like. So it's the most important moment.
Absolutely. Yep. That's where we learn the most, right? Is when we're making that art that's just so uncomfortable because you're trying to figure out new ideas, you're trying new techniques, maybe new styles, or you're trying to improve on whether it's your drawing skills or whatever it is. Those uncomfortable moments are the ones where you know I'm growing. They're good ones.
And with mixed media, there is moments like that when you create. So you start and it's okay, it's okay. Oh my God, it's going to be the more and more ugly, 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 ugly. Oh my God, I'm putting one more layer, one more layer, and then you climb the mountain. And when you create, there is moment like that. But if you still trying and you add a new layer and you don't give up, you can climb the mountain of art for your page and reach another moment when you will say, it's okay now. Maybe it's not perfect, but I managed to do something, and I I didn't give up, and I tried to do something in my page. And in the same, I also believe that we can give up. We can allow us to give up a page when it's not okay, or to tear it, or to put a layer of white gesso and start again. But when we create, even when the page at the end seems really beautiful, there are always a moment when we say to ourselves, but what am I doing? It's ugly. You feel like that too, or I'm alone?
No, there's definitely it's I have almost with every single page, I have a moment where it feels to me like I've never done it before. I sit and I think, what exactly is going on here? Because it feels like I don't know what I'm doing. And so here's the story I have started to tell myself is that I purposefully create a mess so that I can have the adventure of working it out. So I make a problem for myself to solve because I love puzzles. I love working things out and um, unexpected adventure. I think that's what I love about it. So I think I create drama for myself so that I have a puzzle to work out.
I love this idea of puzzle because it's the same idea of composition. Puzzling and composition is quite the same thing, because we are looking for the right detail at the right place.
We've been talking a lot about process and gathering ideas. And one of the things that I love about your work is how you use color. I think your color combinations are always so exciting. So do you go and actively look for color combinations, or do you just naturally have a love for color?
Both. At the beginning, I was really looking forward color combinations. I was looking at Instagram accounts and artworks, and I was pinning each and every pieces of art with color combinations that I loved. But for now, I'm more an explorer. I'm picking few colors and I'm combining them and I'm trying mixes, and I look for new colors with the mixes. So now I'm more an explorer than an observer. But I don't know. I'm still looking for new combination, and I'm still in love and in awe when I see some composition, some color palettes. But I'm more comfortable with it. But because I have tried many things during this last year. So once again, it's all about experiences and improve and explore. And when you try many things, you seems to reach the time when you know which color is okay for you and which color is not. But for now, I have a new project with my patrons on Patreon. I don't know how to say it in English.
Yeah.
And I have a
You got it.
project about colors. And each month we explore a color. So each month we explore a color that we like or not. And each and every students say to me that even if it's a color that they don't like at the beginning, once they have explored it and try it in combination and in compositions, they start to love it. So maybe it's just a matter of exploring and trying, and not just the perfect palette for the perfect person or something like that. Maybe it's just a kind of time that we will be comfortable with each and every color. I don't know if I'm quite clear, but I
You're
know
clear.
for now that when I explore a color, when I take time to explore it, even if at the beginning I'm not comfortable with it, I will find the way to use it. Because a color alone, for example, I don't like violet. I like it in life, but in my artwork, I don't like it. I can't use it. I'm always thinking, what? It's not the right space, place, whatever. But I'm sure that when I will explore violet, purple, what's the name you use, I will find the way to use it, because I will find the color that can combine with it and be okay with me, with my artwork. So it's not the color that is, the color alone is not interesting, but the color combination is. The way that we use a color, for example, a green means nothing. If you say sage, okay. If you say dark green, okay, but just green, it doesn't mean anything. It can be any green. And green, for example, sage, I love it, but I love it also because I can put light pink with it, for example, or gray blue with it, or beigey tones with it. So a color alone doesn't interest me, but a color combination definitely is a word for me. Sorry,
Oh,
I'm
I love that. I love that. Yeah, so you have said so many good things. First of all, I love that you saying I'm an explorer and not an observer anymore. So beautiful. I think that if you could just aim to be able to say, this is what I am, an explorer and not an observer, is just so poetic. So love that. Chef's kiss. And the other thing is color, right? I think color, I love color. I love exploring color and just seeing how it can change things, change the meaning, change the feeling. And so I often view color as a friend. So I love the idea of exploring a whole, color for a whole month, because sometimes you might have to meet someone and you think, oh, I'm not sure if we're going to get along. And I'm so nervous. What happens if I don't like them or they don't like me? And so hanging out with a color for a month, there's no way that at the end of it, you haven't found something that interests you, or a way, as you're saying, it's maybe a combination of colors that you can put it with to make it seem better to you or exciting. So I love this idea.
And because we are stuck with the color a whole month, we can't avoid it. So we have to deal with it, and we have to create the way we will manage to do beautiful artwork. It's not the word, but to do something with it. We can't avoid it a whole month. So it's a challenge, but really, most of the messages I received were, "Oh my God, I didn't believe I would love this color, but now I love it." So it's really interesting. It's really interesting
Yeah.
process.
You have to, what I've written down here is you just have to make it work. Oh, yeah, and it's quite interesting how you feel about violet. Since we stay in the purple family, how you feel about violet is definitely how I feel about magenta.
Mm. And
I don't know.
I really love in your pages the way you use yellow color or oranges color. I'm not quite comfortable with them, but each time I use them, I think about you, because I don't know if you noticed it, but you have a way of using orangey colors or yellowy colors in a very dynamic way that I really love. So each time I use this kind of color, I think about you and the way you manage to do something with them.
So an interesting story is that I hated yellow. When I started creating in my journals, yellow was the one color that I would avoid. It's so yellow, green, and red are colors that I was very afraid of. And so I had to wrestle with yellow, just like you're saying now, right? This spending time with it and figuring out how can I use it in a way that I actually enjoy. And now yellow is one of my favorite colors. I'm at the stage where a page doesn't feel finished until it's got something yellow on it.
I really understand that. I was in the same state of mind with green until I discovered many shades of green and the right shade for me. Maybe sometimes it's a matter of shade, of the right
Yes.
shade in the right color. Just not, that's why I said green means nothing. Just green means nothing. Which green? And when you find the right shade, it's a kind of door that opens enough for you to dive into it and try and improve and explore this color. But try the right
Absolutely.
shade in any color and you will love it. Try
Yes,
it.
I agree. I agree 100%. That is so true. It is, and it comes back to those small details, right?
Yeah.
S The little details are the things where, again, where the magic happens. And so finding just the shade that gets you excited is often all that's needed, is just finding that right one. I agree 100%.
When
Mm.
you are aware of color and color combination, sometimes I'm looking at clothes, whatever, in the street, and I stop and I look at a color and I say, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful! Just this color." And when you are in on a supply shop and you look at all the color and you stop and you look at this one, this only one, it's the one you need absolutely, because this color is amazing. I'm so happy to have this feeling of amaziness. I don't know how you say it,
Yes,
but
amazement. Yep, you've got it.
to, to be in awe in front of a color and to be so filled with this color because it's just beautiful, the magic of color. I'm so happy to have the opportunity to feel like that when I look at a detail of mark of or color. It's such a gift. It's such a privilege to have this pure joy to look at it and to be in love with it. It's
Yes.
it's really a privilege.
Yes. Oh, I love that. It's color. Yeah, color's fantastic. I think for people that are maybe a bit afraid of color or are only starting on their journey, I would say it's so exciting to have the opportunity ahead of you to still be able to dig into color, because the details in the different shades and tints and tones, and it's just magical.
Mm. And when
Mm.
starting, when you feel stuck, it's a really good way of creating something to just pick few colors and just make marks or spots of color. Sometimes beginners don't know how to do something or don't know where to start. And I always say, when you feel stuck, just do mark making or just explore a palette of color. Pick a picture in color that you like and try to mimic, to replicate the colors and to find the right palette. It's like just some kind of exercising, but it's a really easy way to put something on your pages and to do it really. You are focused in the present moment and in the things that you see on your page. And I really like that. When I feel stuck and I feel overwhelmed and tired, just tired because full-time job and many children, you know that, Claudette. Sometimes you just feel exhausted. Just pick a
Yeah.
blank page and do mark making and be in the present moment and just explore one or two colors. Take a color and put some white and more white, or put some beigey tones in it, or play with complementary color, but just play like that. You're not creating a piece of art that will be in a museum. You're just playing in a page. We must say that it's not a big deal. It's a big deal for us, but we can be wrong. We can do bad art, as we said. We can just play. We don't forget to play and to have fun with all of that. It's not a big deal.
Absolutely. And I think it's a grounding exercise, right? It's a way to be able to recenter yourself and come back to a state of calm by using marks and color exploration, because as you say, it's low stakes. There's no pressure to have to perform or produce something.
Mm.
It's just open-ended exploration. You can switch your mind off and you can just be in the moment of exploring, whether it's making the same mark over and over again or just seeing how many colors you can mix using a certain combination.
Mm.
It's an easy way to be able to calm your nervous system.
Yes, I really like the way that, as you said, we switch off our mind, because I'm a daydreamer and a night thinker, so insomniac girl, I mean, and it's very important part of my process to try to switch off and to slow down the most. I create the most slowly I can, because in all other parts of my life I must always run after time. But when I'm in my studio, because I have the opportunity to have a safe space, a space where I can be alone, I like to be in a silent mood and in a slow mood to create and take time. It's the only part of my life, maybe, I'm not sure,
Mhm.
where I really take time to slow down. really to take time, and that's why I'm a really slow maker, really slow maker. I can create something in a quarter of I can create something in 5 minutes. I see some people, they put things in 5 minutes. These kind of challenges are definitely not for me. I'm really in love with people that can do that, but I'm a slow person because I need to switch off, slow down, and take this time for me. I
Mm.
have the opportunity to do it, and I claim for it.
Yes. Oh, I agree. I agree 100%. I'm also a very slow maker. Um, and I take my time, right? And I enjoy it. I think because those are the reasons that we are creating is for that calm, right? So we want to take our time with it. Um, maybe it's got to do with our number of children. As you
Maybe.
say, we're always rushing, right? And we've always got a time crunch and always trying to make sure everybody's got what they need, and it takes a lot of your energy and a lot of your brain space. So having a thing that you can come to where it's just there's no time goal. You can just be there for an hour, you can be there for 3 days on the same page, not sitting in your studio for 3 days, but working on the same page for 3
Well,
days.
why not? I have water. I have the cat food.
The children will be breaking down the door.
I can manage to survive by my own and lock down. Leave me alone.
Oh, yeah, I love that. I always remind myself one day all the children will have left home and I will be alone, and I've told myself I will long for them coming in every 5 minutes and asking for something.
Absolutely. My children how old are they? 16,
Oh,
20, 23, and 25. Something like that. I never remember. There are
yeah.
too many. And now I have time for myself. That's
Yeah.
also why I 2 months ago I left my job and my pay and the security of all of it to create my own company, I don't know,
Oh,
brand company, something like
fantastic.
that, and
Yes.
to live by my art, with my art. And it's absolutely, I'm scared and I don't know what's going to happen, but I prefer to live with fears than with regrets. And
Yes.
I know that I can do it now because my children are older and it's the right time now for me. I also
Mm,
know that if I create, it's because of them or thanks to them. Because this story of bullet journal, it's a story of a full-time job, busy mom. So I started bullet journal and doodling because my life was kind of crazy because
mm,
of them or thanks to them.
mm,
So if I started something, an artistic hobby at the first
mm,
time, it was thanks to them. And now, if I'm starting this new adventure of trying to live by my art, it's also because they are older and I have more time, and they are cheerleading me. My girls, I have two boys and two girls.
mm,
They say to me that they are proud of me, and it's really
mm,
a moment, an incredible moment when your own children say they are proud of you, even if you are their mom. So I'm living quite an adventure now, and I'm scared, of course, but I'm also really proud of myself because I'm dealing with complicated things and risks,
mm,
but I'm trying it. And really, I
mm.
prefer to live with fears than regrets.
Oh, absolutely. And that's such a beautiful story. I love the way you framed it. And yeah, I also started creating because of my children, right? And yes, I love that you can now say it's thanks to them that I am here where I am and that they're proud of you. Oh, it makes my heart so happy. That is so special.
I really love them. They are incredible. I live with their sad stories too, because one of my girl has a strong disease, multiple sclerosis. Thanks.
Oh,
I don't
yes.
know the
Yes.
same word in English, and it's
Mm-hmm.
very, very complicated to for her, because it's a hard life with full of pain and anguish, and she's very interesting in art too. And with my girls, especially with my girls, I don't know why boys are not interested in art. Even if their mom are interested in it, but whatever. With my girls, it's a very soft way of sharing things, and they are showing me their pages, what they create, and I show them what I
Oh,
create, and we talk about it. They give me advices. I really like this part of my life, where my children are older and we are talking like persons, adults together, and it's a really beautiful moment of parenting, really.
oh, oh, I love it. I love it. This is so beautiful. And you've got that art is like a connecting thread again, right? It's a whole different way of being able to communicate with each other, because you're seeing different parts of their um, inner world being expressed on the pages.
Absolutely. When I see the pages of my youngest, I see sweet colors, a work with typography, with letters, that is very,
Yes.
very interesting. She really has her own world, and it's very interesting. And the other one, with illness, has a world of strange and tortured lines and bodies, and she works on neurons, and the way she expresses herself is quite different, of course, but
Mm.
it's very, very interesting to dive into her artwork and understand her through her
Mm.
artwork. Mm.
Mm. Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh, it's a special gift. It's, as you were saying earlier, it's a gift they've given you, but it's a gift you've given back, right?
Well, maybe it's a world we share, definitely.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that is so beautiful. Well, I couldn't end this on a more tender, heartwarming note than where we are right now. So I'm going to say thank you so much for joining me for this episode and for sharing your heart and being vulnerable with us and open and just being who you are. It has been such an inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Claudette. It was easier than I thought, but maybe everyone will forgive me for all my mistakes. But
Oh.
it's really a pleasure to talk with you and to share about it. It's really interesting to share with other fellow artists.